Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're diving into a story that is shaking Europe while echoing the cries of a region far beyond its borders. This is not just about politics or policy, it's about history in the making, moral choices, and the human cost that so often gets buried under headlines. Denmark, a country often seen as calm, predictable, and firmly aligned with the European Union's core values, has taken a decision that many experts believe could rewrite EU history. On the surface, it may look like another political move, another vote, another statement, but beneath it lies a shift that could change how Europe sees itself. For decades, the EU has presented itself as a union built on shared values, collective responsibility, and moral leadership. Denmark has been one of the strongest supporters of that image. That is why this decision matters so much. It signals that even the most loyal members are beginning to question the direction Europe is heading. This move did not come out of nowhere. It is the result of years of pressure, internal debate, and growing frustration among voters. Economic strain, migration challenges, security concerns, and geopolitical instability have all pushed governments to rethink old commitments. Denmark is now saying out loud what many countries have been whispering behind closed doors. Supporters of Denmark's decision argue that it is about sovereignty and realism. They say the EU has grown too centralized and disconnected from the everyday lives of ordinary people. According to them, Denmark is simply reclaiming its right to decide what is best for its own citizens. Critics, however, see something far more dangerous. They warn that this decision could open the door to fragmentation. If Denmark can step back from certain EU principles, what stops others from doing the same? The fear is not just about one country, but about the future of the entire Union. History shows us that the EU is strongest when its members act together. From economic crises to global pandemics, unity has been its greatest weapon. Denmark's move challenges that unity and forces Europe to confront uncomfortable questions about its identity and priorities. While Europe debates its future, another tragedy continues to unfold before our eyes. Far from the halls of Brussels and Copenhagen, Gaza's children are paying the highest price for political failure and endless conflict. Their stories rarely make it past the breaking news banner, yet they represent the true cost of global inaction. In Gaza, childhood has been reduced to survival. Schools have become shelters, homes have turned into rubble, and playgrounds have been replaced by fear. For many children, the sound of drones and explosions is more familiar than laughter or music. These are not statistics. They are lives interrupted before they even had a chance to begin. Each child lost represents dreams that will never be realized, talents the world will never see, and futures stolen by forces far beyond their control. What makes this even harder to accept is that the suffering of Gaza's children is not new. It has been happening for years, cycle after cycle, with brief pauses followed by even greater violence. The world expresses shock, then moves on, leaving families to bury their loved ones alone. Europe often speaks about human rights and the protection of civilians. These principles are written into EU treaties and proudly displayed in speeches. Yet when it comes to Gaza, many people see a painful gap between words and action. Denmark's decision, while rooted in European politics, indirectly highlights this contradiction. As countries reassess their values and alliances, the question becomes unavoidable. What does moral leadership actually look like in today's world? Some argue that Europe's internal struggles are precisely why it has failed to act decisively on issues like Gaza. Divided priorities and political calculations have taken precedence over humanitarian responsibility. The result is silence where there should be urgency. Others believe that Denmark's move could actually push Europe to reflect more deeply. A shake-up, they say, might force the EU to reconnect with its founding ideals, including the defense of human dignity beyond its borders. For families in Gaza, however, reflection is not enough. Every delay means more lives lost. Children are pulled from the ruins of their homes, not knowing why this is happening or who will protect them. The images that do emerge from Gaza are hard to watch. Small bodies wrapped in blankets, parents screaming in grief, hospitals overwhelmed and under-resourced. These scenes challenge our conscience and demand more than passive sympathy. It is easy for the world to compartmentalize these issues. Denmark's decision is treated as a strategic political story, while Gaza's suffering is framed as an unfortunate but distant tragedy. In reality, they are connected by the same global system that prioritizes power over people. When European nations debate sovereignty, security, and influence, those decisions ripple outward. They shape foreign policy, aid distribution, and diplomatic pressure. They influence whether conflicts are addressed or ignored. Denmark's choice sends a signal that traditional alliances and assumptions are no longer guaranteed. This uncertainty can either weaken collective action or redefine it in a more honest and accountable way. For the EU, this is a moment of reckoning. Will it double down on unity at any cost, or will it allow space for national priorities while still upholding shared values? The answer will define Europe's role on the global stage for decades. Meanwhile, Gaza's children cannot wait for policy debates to conclude. Their lives are unfolding in real time, under fire, under siege, and under the weight of international failure. Many humanitarian organizations have warned that an entire generation is being traumatized. Even those who survive carry deep psychological scars that will shape their future and the future of the region. Education, healthcare, and basic safety are no longer guaranteed. When children grow up surrounded by violence, the consequences extend far beyond one conflict. They affect global stability, security, and peace. The contrast between diplomatic language and human suffering is stark. Statements of concern do little to comfort a child who has lost their parents or a home. Condemnations without action ring hollow. Denmark's decision challenges Europe to choose what kind of power it wants to be. Is it a power defined by economic strength and political maneuvering, or one guided by ethical responsibility and empathy? This question matters not just for Europeans, but for people everywhere who look to the EU as a potential force for balance in a chaotic world. Some voices within Europe are calling for a more courageous stance. They argue that true leadership means taking risks for peace and justice, even when it is politically inconvenient. Others remain cautious, fearing backlash, economic consequences, or diplomatic isolation. This hesitation has become a familiar pattern, and Gaza's children continue to suffer because of it. As viewers, we are not powerless. Awareness is the first step, but it cannot be the last. Demanding accountability from leaders, supporting humanitarian efforts, and refusing to normalize violence all matter. Denmark's move may be remembered as a turning point. Whether it leads to fragmentation or renewal depends on what comes next. The choices made now will echo far beyond Europe. For Gaza, every moment matters. Every ceasefire delayed, every aid truck blocked, every voice silenced has irreversible consequences. History will not only judge political decisions by their strategic success, but by their human impact. The faces of lost children will remain long after policies are forgotten. This is why these stories must be told together. One shows a powerful region questioning its future. The other reveals the devastating cost of global indifference. In connecting these narratives, we see a clearer picture of our world today. A world where decisions made in comfort can determine survival elsewhere. The hope is that moments of political upheaval can also become moments of moral clarity. That leaders will recognize the weight of their choices and act with humanity. Until then, the responsibility to remember, to speak, and to care does not disappear. It shifts to all of us. As this story continues to unfold, both in Europe and in Gaza, one truth remains undeniable. History is being written, not just in parliaments and councils, but in the lives of innocent children caught in the crossfire. And how we respond, individually and collectively, will define not only this moment, but the legacy we leave behind.